Ilmari it is from Finland. Pranam Acharya ji. And then quoting from the Guru Granth Sahib, he says, Bhai vich pavan vahai sadvao, Bhai vich chale lakh dariyao, Bhai vich agan kadhai vayagar, Bhai vich dharti dabi bhar, Bhai vich ind phirai sir bhar, Bhai vich raja dharam dwar, Bhai vich suraj, Bhai vich chand. In the fear of God, the wind and breezes ever blow. In the fear of God, thousands of rivers flow. In the fear of God, fire is forced to labor. In the fear of God, the earth is crushed under its burden. In the fear of God, the clouds move across the sky. In the fear of God, the righteous judge of dharma stands at his door. In the fear of God, the sun shines, and in the fear of God, the moon reflects. Why is the word fear used in this context? What kind of fear is this? Gratitude. There is a fear, Ilmari, that comes with love. You would find surprising what I'm going to say next. We have heard so far from many, including me, that love makes you fearless. But you must also know that love comes with a great fear. The greater is the love, the greater is the fear of not uniting with the beloved. And that is why love has so much energy. And that is why love doesn't allow you to sleep. Who knows, one might not wake up in time. Who knows, the opportunity might slip away in sleep. Lovers have such sleepless nights. They are afraid. If you have ever really loved, you would know what it means. To love is to place your prime concern in a way outside of you, because you are now no more bothered about yourself. You are bothered about something, somebody outside of yourself, an entity which is not you. And it is such a terrible position to be in. The center of your life now lies outside of you. The center of your life now lies outside of you. That's what happens in the highest grade of love, and that's what happens in ordinary love as well. In the highest grade of love, the seeker, the worshipper says, the center of my life is now that, God, the Lord. So the center of my life now lies outside of me. Even in ordinary love, you say, my life now depends on you. That's how what you say to the other person, don't you? So the center of your life now lies outside of you. Now that's like, well, that's a bit like your brain in somebody else's hands. All right, to make it more love-friendly. That's like your heart in somebody's hands. Whose heart is it? Yours. In whose hands is it? Somebody else's. Oh, you will be very, very afraid. You will be very, very afraid. People are afraid even when their car is in somebody else's hands. I am afraid when the data hard disk is in cable's hands. When your heart is in somebody else's hands, then you will tremble, won't you? That's love. You want to be there quick. You want to get over with it. You don't want to remain in the intermediate stage for very long. You want to rush like a river, like the impatient wind. That's what Guru Nanak Dev Sahib is telling here. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to delay it. You don't want it to be prolonged. You want to reach there quickly. It is precious. First thing. It might be lost. Second thing. How will you sleep? So you rush. That's the thing with love. Now, because the thing is precious, so you have infinite patience. And because you cannot bear separation, so you have infinite impatience. That's how the state of the lover is. Supremely patient, he behaves in a greatly impatient way. Within, he is supremely patient, but his behavior would display great impatience. He is so patient that he can wait for centuries. After all, the beloved is the destiny. He has to come to it. So he is prepared to wait. At the same time, the beloved is so beautiful. He can't bear separation even for a minute. So in his behavior, in his movements, you will find a great hurry. As if he's running against time. And if you're not careful, you will say, oh, you have no patience. He's not a lover at all. Prakriti loves Purush. But now there is a great problem. Prakriti has all the love. But the Purush has all the wisdom. So Prakriti rushes, but without any wisdom. And that tells you why she rushes towards Purush, because the Purush has all the wisdom. Lacking wisdom, she is greatly attracted to wisdom. So she keeps rushing to wisdom without any wisdom. And so she runs in circles. Oh. So the stars are rushing, the suns are rushing, the moons are rushing, the galaxies are rushing. Oh, even the little insects are rushing. Of course, the rivers and the fountains are rushing. Entire Prakriti is in a flux. There's nothing stopping here even for a split second. Rushing towards wisdom without wisdom. Towards rest without any rest. Now you know what time is. Love. Therefore, when there is union, time stops. People say, in love, time stops. No, time doesn't stop in love. Time stops when love attains its peak. Love is a journey. Sometimes people say, love is truth, truth is love. All that is nonsense. Love is towards the truth. Love is the journey towards the truth. In love is time. Time is only because of love. Time exists so that one day you may enter into the timeless. Life exists so that one day you may enter into the infinite, immortal. Mind exists so that one day you can move beyond mind. And all of these are movements. Time is a movement, life is a movement, mind is a movement. All these movements are so that one day you may be able to stop and rest and relax and just disappear in the arms of the beloved. Where are you? Oh, molten, gone. So that's what Prakriti is doing. Now you would also see the relationship between Prakriti and ego. And if you can see that, you would have also seen why it is so difficult to dissociate the ego from Prakriti. Because the ego and Prakriti are friends, buddies. As they say, best female friend, BFF. Yeah. The ego wants completion, and so does Prakriti. So they both very quickly gel with each other. Now that would bring you to a point where you could even say that Prakriti and ego are one in many respects. That the ego does not find the body to be associated with it, that the ego is contained in the very grain of the body. That it is not as if the body and the ego are two different things. And there is substance in this assertion. Because isn't the ego contained in the body from the very first moment? Which means that they are born together. You could even say that the body is the ego. And therefore, the process of spirituality is so very difficult. Therefore, it is so difficult to teach a person that he is not the body. The ego does not enter the body. The ego is the body. It is as if there is something in Prakriti that cries out, I. But that is more or less an academic thing. You could say the I is deeply associated with Prakriti, or you could say the I is Prakriti itself. That is all right. Both are acceptable and useful in different ways. Sometimes I would say the I is the Prakriti, sometimes I would say the I is associated with the Prakriti. It's okay, depends on the context. So everything is on a journey, That's why your eyes, are constantly looking at the faces of strangers. Have you seen that when you are in a crowd? How you look at people's faces, strangers' faces, as if you are trying to come upon that one final face. Don't you do that? Even when you are not looking for somebody specific, still you are always looking out. Have you ever wondered, why do you keep looking out? Have you seen how difficult it is to just close your eyes? You can't close your eyes because you are continuously in a wait. When you are continuously in a wait, your eyes are looking out for someone. And now you know what is life. And now you know why you feel dead when your senses are gone. If your eyes are no more there, and your ears are no more there, and you can't speak, you just feel like saying that you are dead. That tells you what life is. Life is a movement, a preparation, a wait. When that movement is no more possible, then you are dead. Please understand. When you are no more able to move towards the truth, when you are no more able to be in search of the beloved, then you are dead. Life is only as long as you are in that active search. Therefore, life is only when you are in sadhana. Life is only when you are a seeker, a meditator, a lover. Otherwise, you are dead. If you are not moving towards the truth, if you are not looking for the beloved, you are not alive. Therefore, it is so difficult to continuously keep your eyes closed. Are you getting it? And therefore, it is so difficult to ask the mind to pause. The mind is constantly whirling. The mind is constantly moving. For what? Don't you ask? For that. And the mind is constantly striving to get that. And then you go to the mind and in all your wisdom, you advise it. What do you advise? Please stop. Please relax. The mind says, is it the time to relax? I am loveless. I am looking for him and I am working so hard. Now, we know what the mind means by hard work. What does the mind means by hard work? Going around in circles and weaving knots for himself. But still, in the mind's own frame of reference, it is doing something productive. What is it doing? It is trying to find out a way. It is trying to cover some distance. It is trying to solve a problem. And in its own perspective, it is doing something nice, something positive, something useful. Therefore, the mind doesn't stop, even though you very sagely advise it to relax and meditate. The mind says, what the hell? My great gem is missing. And I'm looking around for it so frantically. And what are you advising me? Stop. How can I stop? My diamond is missing. I have to look for it. Therefore, all the methods of meditation usually fail because they do not know love. Only love succeeds. Are you getting it? Don't you see? Even the mad Prakriti succeeds without any wisdom. Love has so much power. It forces wisdom to come to it. We thought wisdom was supreme. No, wisdom is not. We thought love was the greatest surrender. No. Wisdom surrenders to love. Love surrenders to truth, so wisdom surrenders to love. Which means if you have love, wisdom will come. And that's how great sages and teachers and gurus and yogis are born. Born means born in Prakriti. Now you know how a Buddha is wise. We said Prakriti has no wisdom. But then how does the body of the Shakyamuni radiate so much wisdom? How does it happen that he delivers so many sermons? Where are the sermons coming from? The body. Love begets wisdom. Wisdom comes even to the body because the body is in love. That's how it happens that this Prakriti of flesh and blood made of mud starts being called an avatar, starts being called a prophet, and starts seeing and saying things that are beyond flesh and blood and mud. See, love has conquered wisdom. Mud has started uttering the scriptures. Mud is uttering the scriptures. A mere animal, a descendant of an ape, is delivering sermons. Aren't we all descendants of apes? So even the great knowers were, in terms of body, descendants of apes. And the son of an ape is delivering a holy book. That's the power of love. That's the power of love. Prakriti loves Purush so much that wisdom comes to it. The blind love of Prakriti forces wisdom to come to it. And that's what sages and gurus have told us all along. Love precedes wisdom. Ramana Maharshi was so fond of saying, Bhakti Gyan ki mata hai. Bhakti is the mother of Gyan. Bhakti will come first, then realization will come, not the other way around. Are you getting it? That day, I had told you to learn about the 4 important disciples of Adi Shankaracharya. You remember Totkacharya? What was his story? This much you remember. What was the real thing? There was this fellow who didn't understand a thing in the sessions, and they were no ordinary sessions. Adi Shankaracharya was delivering them in person, special sessions. And they were being delivered to the inner circle only. Only to the students who would actively stay with Adi Shankaracharya and serve him and do all the stuff that is required in the little mission and all those things. And still, one among them was so extraordinary that he would not get anything. He never understood anything. In fact, he would fall asleep like Paresh. And everybody just gave up on him. They said, this chap has no future. He would never grow up to become one of the Guru's torch bearers. Then one day suddenly, before I say that, this chap was very fond of Adi Shankaracharya. Therefore, in spite of not comprehending the sessions at all, he would stay with him. Legend has it that he would not understand anything but would serve the teacher a lot. Serve in whatever little ways were possible to him. I don't know, maybe take care of his little stuff and such things. Food or clothes or something. Then one day it just happened. This fellow comes and delivers a few verses which nobody had heard of till that time. And they were absolute gems. And then everybody just woke up in, let me say, horror. How did this fool come to know of this great knowledge? He never understood anything. And what he is talking of right now is not ordinary knowledge. It is wisdom beyond intellect. From where did he get it? Those few verses, I think they are 8 or 10 or 20, very small in number, are still preserved and are still very valuable. So if you have love, realization just comes running on its own. Which obviously does not mean that you have to sleep in the sessions.